Here's the deal, Pops. It is another round of Ray's review. That is also referred to as alliteration right there. Round of Ray's. Yeah, round of
Ray's reviews.
Round of Ray's reviews.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the deal. It's not, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, so here we go. This was posted on the YAA community forum by Cynthia Arellano. I probably butchered that. Excuse me, Cynthia. So if you want your deal reviewed by Mr. Ray himself, post it on the community forum. We'll pull some of them each week. We're doing a Ray's review. Here we go. Yeah. I want some input on how to negotiate this deal. I'm looking to pay cash. I find the markup to be high and the quote accessories even higher. The website states the following. Price does not include a $1,485 reconditioning fee, transportation, limited warranty, theft deterrent, applicable tax, title license, and documentation fee. Awards. Current asking price is $27,576, but not reflected on this invoice, the out-the-door worksheet that Cynthia got. I asked for itemized expense associated with purchase and was given this attachment. Any advice on how to try and negotiate? Car is a few days away from 60 days on the lot. Pops.
Yeah.
You got the magic pencil.
I do.
What'd you see here when you looked at this deal?
Well, the first thing I noticed is that, they're asking a lot of money for a 2019 Mazda CX-5 Grand Touring and saying that the sales price is $28,076, okay, when it's not. And the reason it's not is because there's an $1,884 fee for accessories that gets added to the sales price. So the sales price is really, what, $30,000? $1,485 reconditioning fee, well, that should be factored into the selling price. That is not a separate line item unless you're doing business in a manner that is, well, somewhat unethical.
And let's take a step back here. The advertised price on the website was $27,576. Based on your math here, what is the actual price?
Well, about $30,000.
All right, and this is why we say always ask for the out-the-door price, because that, and this happens frequently. Let's be clear, this happens frequently in the great state of Florida. But you'll see an awesome advertised price, but the reality is it's 15% higher out the door.
But isn't the first question that you would ask is why is it advertised online for? It was $27,576.
And
why is the sales price listed here $500 higher than that? To begin with.
Question number one.
That's question number one. And then charging $1,884 in dealer-installed accessories, and $1,485 of those dealer-installed accessories are, here we go, their reconditioning fee. Well, that should be factored into the asking price of the vehicle.
So that's question number two to ask where that. Question number three, Dad, what moisturizer do you use? Because you look well moisturized today.
Well, I shower with hot water.
All right, so you're seeing a lot of fluff on here immediately. A lot of things.
The theft deterrent system for $399. The good news is, apparently the theft deterrent system works because it wasn't stolen off of Napleton's lot in the nearly 60 days that they've had it. If it were me,
how you handling this?
The first things that I'm talking to them about is, well, the accessories that I didn't ask for and $1,485 in reconditioning fee is not an accessory. That is an excessive charge to me as the customer for the things that you had to do to get the vehicle ready to put it on your lot for sale. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the $1,485, and we're going to put an X through that. I'm sorry, I just can't pay your reconditioning fee. You either adjust your asking price to incorporate that, or you live by your asking price, which, by the way, why is it $500 higher than it was supposed to be?
Now, let's just pause for a moment here. I got to give a lot of credit to the telestration artists that do things on TV, because that circle, that was really bad. That was pretty poor.
That was, you know what?
Let me try. How about this, Pops?
Yeah.
Back on the community forum, I want to chime in with what Phil, one of our auto advocates back at Join YAA, you can get paired up with a coach. We'll walk you through the process. Here's what Phil said. I am not sure if you're still interested in this car, but you are correct that this one is overpriced. The normal depreciation on this car would make it worth about $22,000 to $23,000 after 3 years. The reconditioning fee they are including should be a part of the selling price, as a cost of doing business. So they are really asking for $29,600, nearly $30,000.
Yes.
This car brand new is $33,000. $29,000 in 2019. In the current market, I would target no more than $29,000 out the door, including the dealer fees, sales tax, and government fees. I would highly recommend to get a new one at MSRP instead, and actually put the depreciation table in here of what's going on. Is that lining up with your thinking, or are you saying,
yes.
No, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because the reality is they can ask for the accessories. Everything is, like if you go to a dealer and they're asking for a $2,500 market adjustment, they're asking. They don't necessarily expect to get it. They're hoping they'll get it. They're asking. So this is like any other contract. You can accept it, you can reject it, or you can amend it. Yep. You can make an adjustment to it. So if you work on the out-the-door numbers, then it simply becomes math. Somewhere along the lines, if as Phil suggests, an out-the-door number of $29,000, which would indicate a reduction of around $4,000, $4,400, I don't care where that comes from. Whether it comes off the selling price, whether it comes off the accessories, it doesn't matter. It's got to come from somewhere. It's just math. So if the total price, forget it. If the total price they're asking with all the fees is $33,413.85, and we can all agree that the car is overpriced to begin with for what it is. So you want to work on getting that number down. Now, where are we going to find $4,400? That's up to the management team at Napleton if they want to work with you. Now, based on what I've seen so far, and I don't want to necessarily call Napleton out for this, but you advertise the car for $500 less than what you put the selling price for. Okay, so that's my first red flag, that this is not necessarily a dealership that's working with you on the up and up. Okay, you then want to charge me for a theft deterrent device and for your reconditioning costs after you recondition this vehicle. That would be number 2. That's the second red flag to me that says these are not people I would want to do business with. They are just merely looking for ways to separate you from your money. Now, this might be a nice vehicle, might be terribly overpriced.
Yeah.
It might be in good shape, but if I had my heart set on this type of vehicle, as Phil suggested, I would look at a brand new one at a Mazda dealership somewhere, hopefully not a Napleton dealership, where you can get it for MSRP or perhaps a little less, and get yourself a brand new one. And I would also do, and I know Napleton is a big dealership group in the Midwest, and I believe in the Southeast they have some stores in Florida.
Yeah.
But I would try and find another dealership group, one that would employ tactics that are a bit more consumer friendly than theirs.
And let's touch on one way to realize that this is an overpriced vehicle. If you go back to the dealership and you say, well, the KBB price is this, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to say, well, KBB's not writing you a check for anything.
Yeah.
You've got a few options here. One is get the black book value. You can do that back in your YAA account, and you can also reference the Carvana quote, the CarMax quote, the Vroom quote. Those obviously are wholesale buy prices, but still they give you a proxy. For example, if the Carvana quote to buy this, so pretend you're selling it to Carvana, Cynthia. If the Carvana quote came in at, I don't know, $22,000, okay, let's say Carvana wants to make 15% on that. They have their $1,500 reconditioning cost. Okay, the car is still overpriced. Yes. And I think that becomes a very logical train of thought when you go back to the dealership and you say, hey, I want to X out this, I want to X out this, and if the out the door gets to here, I'll buy it from you. That can help to build that case a little bit if you do want to pursue a used vehicle.
Yeah, my suspicion with this particular dealership group is they're not going to really be interested in negotiating those things, and logic won't matter to them, because logically speaking, you wouldn't advertise it for $500 less than what you tell the customer it is when they walk in the door, logically speaking. So you can throw logic out the window with these people.
Now, one other place that you can go for some help here, so obviously getting reviews on the community forum, but also the dealership reviews that we have back on the community as well. We have a whole spreadsheet of community-sourced dealerships. So find a Mazda dealership near you, or look through those reviews, then go use the search to find vehicles at that dealership. That's a good way to help find reputable and equitable dealers to work with.
And may I point out one other thing? Something that's called payment packing, okay? And they're guilty of it in this worksheet.
Show us where.
Okay, payment packing. So they say a 36-month term, okay, at 3.9% is going, with $2,000 down, is going to put your payment somewhere between $928 and $943. Great. It's not between there. There's a number, a real solid number, down to the penny that your payment would be. Okay, there's not a $15 a month spread in what the payment is. At 3.9% with $2,000 down at 36 months, it comes out to an exact payment. This is what's known as payment packing. This is somewhat illegal. Okay, you're not supposed to quote a spread. You're supposed to quote the payment. It's not that hard if you want to deal transparently and honestly with people. But for the good folks at Napleton, that seems to be completely outside of what they're capable of doing. From it's 27,576 to suddenly it becomes 28,076, to the reconditioning charges, to the payment packing. There is nothing on this worksheet that would say, I'm going to reward these folks with my business.
Well, let us know, Cynthia, what you end up doing. And again, if you want your deal reviewed by my pops, spent 40 years in the car business, post it back, join yaa.com/community. Let us know. We'll take a peek at it maybe next week. Dad, thank you for running through this. We'll hear what Cynthia does eventually, and I'm excited to hear that she doesn't work with Napleton. Sorry, that's kind of harsh, but it's the truth. This is pretty ugly.
Yeah, no, this is not the way to do business. This is the reason that we became the advocates that we became, because of tactics like this. Unfortunately, we're going to have jobs for a long, long time because there's a lot of dealerships that operate in this manner.